Heritage Sports. I have one question. Can Coach Prime save the Pac 12 TV deal? If you haven't been paying attention, the Pac 12 has been under a lot of pressure with USC and UCLA leaving for the Big Ten. So that news came, they were coordinated effort leaving only 10 teams, which is cool. It used to be the Pac 10, they went to the Pac 12, but at this time, they need to re up their TV rights deal. They were looking for a TV deal of about 40 to 42 million dollars per school. So per school, if you are Oregon, you are Colorado, you are Arizona State, you get 40 mil per year. That's what they were aiming for. The problem is when those teams left, their value dropped. It just did. It is what it is. And then the Big Ten and the Big 12 got deals with Fox and ESPN. So news reports are coming out saying TNT is out. Turner Sports basically is out. So TNT, TBS, CBS, and NBC went all in on Notre Dame and some of the Big Ten stuff as well. So they're not really interested in Pac 12 football. So to just give you an example, like to sum it all up, and I like simplistic things. It's like you went to the barbecue too late. Basically, it really is that. So when you get to the barbecue, you don't have the finest selection of meats, of protein and stuff like that. You show up and the shit just went bad. Like, yo, there's no more hamburgers, there's no more hot dogs, no more ribs. We got a little bit of burnt chicken and some sides. And the sides I'm getting at in this analogy is streaming. So they don't have a lot of places where they can go on television. They have they essentially have the most viable way of going on a particular streaming platform, which I'm about to tell you about in just 1 second. Keep stay with me. So there's this person, Pac-12 commissioner, shown him on the screen. His name's really not important. It could be anything, but that's his name. He is definitely going to try to expand the Pac-10. Well, I mean, it's the Pac-12 now, has 10 members. They're going to try to go through and add 2 more members. It is very much apparent that they're going to try to keep the Southern California market and add San Diego State. The Aztecs, beautiful campus. They have fairly decent football teams every now and again, but they are consistently good at basketball. That's why Kawhi Leonard went. So they're always they're okay with a step up in competition going to the Pac-12. That's not going to be an issue. It's going to be the second team. It's been rumored it could be UNLV, it could be Fresno State, or it could be SMU. That's where the Pac-12 commissioner was last week. He was in Dallas trying to get the furthermost state away from all the other schools and add a new market, get the DFW market. Now, will SMU be? SMU is decent, really, really good football team. They've been building the program, but all the other sports, I'm not quite sure where they are. But that's going to be the big thing. It's not just you getting a football team. All the sports there have to go from the American Conference to the Pac-12, and they're going to be okay with traveling, or they're going to be okay with the step up in competition. I think that all that's going to work itself out, especially if SMU accepts the Pac-12 competition. Why are they doing this? Because they need the freaking money. Before, if you remember, the Big East was the Big East. It had all the schools. It was like Miami and Syracuse and stuff, and then it all just went to poop. That's because member schools started to leave because they didn't have the money. They saw other conferences get more money or promise more money to schools, and that's where they went. And that's what happened exactly with USC and UCLA. So they're trying to get the most members back into the fold so they can have a better TV deal. So one of those things they've done, which I'm sure they were quite pleased about, a absolute superstar got dropped into one of their Pac-12 schools, Deion Sanders. And what did Deion have before he left Jackson State? He had a show, Coach Prime show. It started on YouTube, but then it went to Amazon Prime. And I'm just not just whistling Dixie. I'm not saying, oh, these are things that I think could happen or may happen. These things are being reported. It's right there. So for in order, and this is on Forbes, by the way. So in order for the Pac-12 to salvage their deal, they have to understand that Fox is out, NBC is out, CBS is out, Turner is out. ESPN wants their late games, but they don't want the whole entire package because they're just like, look, unless it's discounted, we're not even thinking about it. So meaning most of the games will be on the Pac-12 network and something they are calling Prime on Prime. I'm sorry, uh, Prime Pac-12. I want to make sure I got the definition right or what they're saying right. It is called the Prime Pac-12 Network. That's what they want to bank on. And guess who had a Coach Prime show on Amazon Prime? That's right. So the connections are already there. The rumors are apparent. They're blaring. What's going to end up happening is if they want to get close to that $40 million mark, they're going to have to basically all the Pac-12 games are going to be on some Amazon Prime platform or Amazon platform. Whether that's a new app or the app they're going to integrate it already where you can watch it on your phone, you can watch it on your streaming devices like a Roku or something. But that's primarily where the games are going to be. And the night games are going to go over to ESPN. Hopefully, that's what people think. You get the main bulk of money, the 30 million or so, 25 to 30 million for Amazon. You get the rest of it on linear TV, which is ESPN, where people can watch it on, their cable stations. That's how they get the 40 million. That's the only path forward. That's why they're trying to add in more schools, more marketing dollars as far as states go, having the state of Texas, having SoCal, that region locked up, and you continue to be called the Pac-12. So that's what's going on. It is a really, really big issue, and a lot of money blogs and money stories on what's going to happen to the Pac-12 and whether they're going to stay together. Because USC and UCLA, they bolted from the Pac-12 and nobody knew. The commissioner didn't know. So they've had to come together and put out statements of support in support of the commissioner. But it is what it is. Right now, they need to expand their market and get this TV deal done. And it won't be the traditional TV deal because all the other streaming partners, not streaming partners, but all the other TV partners are taken. It is a real possibility they're going to be the first conference, first major Power 5 conference that's going to be primarily on streaming. So if you plan on watching, it's going to be highly contested, the Deion Sanders games, the Colorado games for sure. But the early games, they're going to be on Amazon, and you're going to have to watch Coach Prime on Prime, which is really interesting. That's something they've kind of been hinting at. So something's in the works. I'm not saying this is a for sure thing. This is exactly what's going to happen, but just reading the tea leaves, the Pac-12, most of the games will be on some type of streaming platform. Everybody thinks it's Amazon, and rightfully so, with the connection that they have with Coach Deion already. So he has already made that partnership with Amazon, putting on shows. You can't only imagine what kind of more interactive shows they're going to be able to do with him and Pac-12 together. So when I made this video at the end of that, I'll put on the end screen, the prime effect that Deion Sanders could generate hundreds of millions of dollars, not only for Colorado, but definitely the Pac-12. They added him, that added zeros to the bottom line, and that is just the bottom line. So this is something that's super cool, but it's going on right now. It's like a little under the radar, but a lot of money, like articles are being written about it, how the Pac-12 has their back up against the wall, and the only viable path is how I told you, what I just told you all. So it's a super cool story to follow. It is highly unlikely they stick with Fox. If you watch Fox and Fox networks, those are they have the most Pac-12 games because they had the previous contract. They've already come out and said, nah, bro, we ain't paying that. We ain't paying that. So Pac-12 will not be on Fox this in the upcoming seasons. It's going to be a super cool. Hopefully, they'll make it a cool experience for people to watch. Hybrid experience. I may have to get Amazon Prime. I may have to get it for the Pac-12 games because I do love watching different teams. Like especially right now in the upcoming year, Caleb Williams is going to be playing. Unbelievable player. I love watching UCLA. I like Stanford. Oregon's always a good watch, and of course, Coach Prime's in Colorado. So it's going to be a interactive experience if that's what goes on. And I get to watch the late game on ESPN, which I love. There's nothing like sitting down. It's 11 o'clock, and the Pac-12 game just came on. It's a beautiful thing. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Thank y'all for watching Heritage Sports.